Tonight, the city of Austin on edge after the latest in a 3-week-long wave of bombings across the region.
I was reading out on my back porch and I heard the blast.
Killing 2 people and injuring 5 more.
We are clearly dealing with what we expect to be a serial bomber.
The bomber still at large, with no suspect named.
Typically, people who do these types of bombs through the mail, etc., tend to be loners, tend to be isolated, tend to be very angry. You know, is this a guy who lives alone, or maybe lives with a parent, or lives in the basement of a house, or lives on a farm outside Austin? All of the above are possible.
And tonight, authorities and first responders on high alert after an old military ordinance accidentally went off at a Goodwill in the city.
This incident is not related to any of the other incidents that we've had here in Austin, and we just want to reiterate to the community that if you see something suspicious, if you have a suspicious box, a suspicious package, that you continue to call 911.
The latest attack early Tuesday morning. A postal worker injured when a package bomb exploded on a conveyor belt at this FedEx distribution center in Church, Texas, an hour outside Austin.
There were nails and metals in the bomb. Package was going to Austin.
Authorities telling ABC News tonight another explosive device has been found undetonated at FedEx in Austin, where this morning's bomb was shipped from.
Unexploded bombs are extremely helpful because they give you an intact bomb. How did he build it? What materials did he use? They could get DNA, hairs and fibers, trace evidence, and fingerprints off the package itself and the bombs in particular.
It's the latest in a series of bombings that's shaken the city of Austin and surrounding areas. 5 attacks in less than 3 weeks. It all began on March 2nd here in Austin. At 6:55 a.m., 39-year-old Anthony House was killed after picking up a package dropped off at his front door. Just 10 days later, a few miles from the first bombing,
we got 2 people down. It looks like one in the door and tray.
Another deadly blast from a planted package. 17-year-old Draylon Mason was killed, his mother critically injured.
We have trauma activations, penetrating trauma, head and torso.
His neighbors horrified by the incident.
I saw an ambulance with my neighbor on, on the stretcher, and so that was very terrifying for me.
3 miles away, another explosion. Just a few hours later, another planted bomb critically injured a 75-year-old woman, Esperanza Herrera.
All of a sudden, we just heard an explosion, and I just felt it like move the ground.
Police evacuating the neighborhood, putting small children on buses.
You need help?
Alerting everyone not to touch any suspicious packages.
We've got a pattern of incidents that have occurred in this community over the past 10 days, and so that we believe are related.
Authorities issuing a warning to residents.
If you've had a delivery that did not come through an official mail service, but instead you just found this item on your porch or in your yard and it was unexpected, do not handle it, do not touch it, do not move it, but instead call us.
6 days later, just miles away, a 4th bombing in a possible new tactic. A bomb rigged to a tripwire. The victims this time, 2 unsuspecting bicyclists. Will Grote and Colton Mays were injured. Residents are afraid to walk the streets.
When we went for a walk yesterday, instead of me pushing her forward, I kind of pulled her behind me because if I'm going to set it off, I'd rather it hit me than hit my baby.
Then just 24 hours ago, that 5th bombing detonates in the FedEx facility.
There clearly is something significant about Austin to the bomber. My guess is he has a history there. He probably lives there or lives close by. He's mad about something. Once he's caught, we'll figure it out.
Authorities scrambling to make a connection and establish a motive. The first 4 victims of those 3 attacks, all people of color. But the 2 victims on bikes were white.
The first 3 appeared to be targeting a specific resident, address, I should say, and whether they were targeting the person at that address or not, we know that they were placed on a specific doorstep at a specific home.
Investigators chasing down hundreds of leads, more than 1,000 suspicious package calls from frightened residents. Austin's police chief making an appeal to the public for any leads.
We need every tip, every piece of information. However inconsequential you may think it is, that may be the one piece of evidence that we need.
Decades ago, it was a tip from the public that solved another serial bomber case, the infamous Unabomber.
The FBI says it cannot find a pattern and admits the long investigation has been frustrating.
In the 1990s, he was the most wanted man in America, a cold-blooded bomber who killed and maimed. He eluded the FBI for 18 years, a ghost targeting universities and airlines. His campaign killed 3 and injured more than 20 people. But the FBI didn't have that much information to go on. Then it was the Unabomber himself who gave the FBI even more to work with when he contacted the media.
This is, to a large extent, about getting attention.
He demanded 2 national newspapers print his unedited manuscript, airing his incoherent grievances, or else the killings would continue. In 1995, the New York Times and Washington Post published his 35,000-word manifesto.
It is blackmail, pure and simple, to which the Times and the Post have acceded. Were they justified in doing so?
History might say yes, because a college professor, Linda Patrick, reading the information, thinks she recognizes familiar-sounding ideas from letters her husband, David Kaczynski, and his family had received from his brother, Ted. I interviewed Patrick alongside her husband in her first-ever television interview for 2020 Homicide, Secret Life of the Unabomber.
When she said, well, I think maybe your brother's the Unabomber, I thought, well, this is not anything to worry about. Ted's never been violent. I've never seen him violent.
But Patrick's suspicions kept growing.
They had posted the first few pages of the manifesto on the screen computer in the lobby of the library. So Dave went with me, and then as Dave read the first page, I was sitting at his side and his jaw dropped.
I thought I was going to read the first page of this, turn to Linda and say, see, I told you so. But on an emotional level, it just sounded like my brother's voice.
The family made the wrenching decision to contact the FBI.
Thought about the families that were bombed. There was one in which the package arrived to the man's home and his little 2-year-old daughter was there. She was almost in the room when he opened the package. Luckily, she left and his wife left, and then he died. And there were others. So I spent those days thinking about those people.
That tip from Patrick would end up being the linchpin that led to Ted Kaczynski's capture in 1996.
The FBI has arrested a man in Lincoln, Montana.
Sir, he's a Unabomber. At Kaczynski's trial, a court-appointed psychiatrist diagnosed him with a serious mental illness, paranoid schizophrenia.
Ted Kaczynski pleaded guilty to murder in exchange for life in prison.
Today, he's still serving out his life sentence behind bars. As for the bombing in Texas, the bomber remains a mystery. His motive or his mental state unknown. For the residents in and around Austin, another night on edge.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.